Somebody in this town is going to die.
Please don't shoot us on sex night.
From the guy who brought you Ted.
There are a million ways to die in the West. Drunk people, hungry animals, outlaws.
Shoot on 3.
Look at that. Looks like our shadows are about to kiss each other. Oh, wait, watch this.
Oh, hey, look, it's the eyes.
That went south so fast!
A Million Ways to Die in the West. See it all. May 30th, rated R.
Hello, I'm the Universal Critic. I talk about whatever I want, whenever I want. In 1999, audiences were introduced to Family Guy, our first exposure to Seth MacFarlane's irreverent and outrageous style of comedy. While the show has lost and continues to lose its edge and charm, MacFarlane managed to redeem himself with his feature film debut, Ted, which was a critical and commercial hit. While I enjoyed Ted a great deal, I was a tad skeptical about MacFarlane's second film, A Million Ways to Die in the West, for reasons I'll get into later. Did the film exceed my expectations? Well, let me explain the plot first. Set in 1882 Arizona, this film is the story of Albert Stark, played by Seth MacFarlane, a sheep farmer who is all too aware of the constant peril of his environment. His sarcastically bleak outlook on life is worsened when his girlfriend Louise, played by Amanda Seyfried, leaves him for a much richer man, played by Neil Patrick Harris. His heartbreak is levied when he comes across Anna, played by Charlize Theron, with whom he forms an immediate connection. However, Stark must soon defend Anna and himself from the vicious gunslinger Clinch Leatherwood, who is Anna's husband. The first reason for my skepticism about this film was that it came on the heels of MacFarlane's recently cancelled, thank God, sitcom Dads, which I can safely say is one of the worst TV shows I have ever seen in my life. The second is that this film is a western, a comedic one, but a western nonetheless. This worried me because, in recent years, the western genre has been played by one flop after another, with only one notable exception, and I'm not even sure that one technically counts. So yeah, I approached this film with cautious optimism at best, but while it is mildly entertaining, it could have been a lot better. Let me start with what I like about this film, because there is a significant amount of stuff to like. MacFarlane and Theron's relationship is probably the highlight of the film. The characters are both really likable, with MacFarlane as the smart, snarky, but good-hearted guy, and Theron as a strong, self-reliant, and insightful woman. The film's comments on what a generally inhospitable place the Old West really was are legitimately funny, if a bit overused. I think this film has the potential to be a cult classic, but it still has one pretty major flaw: the story. Or rather, I should say stories, because geez, there is so much going on in this movie. There's a subplot involving Giovanni Ribisi's character and his hooker girlfriend, played by Sarah Silverman. It involves him trying to sleep with her, but she won't do it until they're married, despite the fact she's, you know, a whore. It's a bit funny at first, but they just keep telling that one joke over and over again whenever they're on screen, and it doesn't even really lead to anything. There's no resolution, so what was the point? Also, the plot about Seyfried and Harris's romance is just not that interesting. Harris manages to wring some truly funny scenes out of his character, but Seyfried is written as just such a stick in the mud. It doesn't help that she was directed to act so stiffly, because she is usually quite an energetic performer, so it was really a waste of her talent. It was not as much a waste of talent as Liam Neeson's character. I like Liam Neeson just as much as the next guy, and he is a pretty menacing villain, but his character is such a non-entity in this movie. He's barely even in the movie until the end of the third act, and honestly, it would have been much better had they written him out completely and just made this more of a romantic comedy. Another problem is the length of the film. This thing clocks in at just under 2 hours long, mostly because they fill it with routines and set pieces that go on for far too long and feel more like improvised stand-up than an actual scripted film. This might have worked better if they didn't go on for so long and if they didn't just jump from topic to topic so haphazardly. It really feels disjointed. Overall, I give A Million Ways to Die in the West a high small screen rating. Had the film focused more on the main romance and lost about 25 minutes of its running time, it probably would have been much stronger. But as it is, it's enjoyable, but nothing that special. I'm the Universal Critic. I talk about whatever I want, whenever I want. Goodbye.
When I roll into the